when you grow up as a kid, you have a thing called the Brooklyn Dodgers, right?
Of course.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So when you're a kid, the idea that it could be moved someplace
It's
else.
insanity.
When you're a kid, you can't, that it's privately owned, run for profit, and that it can be moved to California was literally beyond your comprehension, beyond my comprehension. So it was a real.
It's wild. Bernie Sanders sits down to talk baseball and ends up making the clearest case for democratic socialism you've heard in years. Not in a campaign ad, not on MSNBC, just casually chopping it up on a podcast with Andrew Schulz. And in those first 20 minutes, it hits you. The system's rigged, and even if you don't like Bernie, you feel what he's saying.
Did that have an impact on my political views? It did, actually. It did, because the Dodgers were a cohesive force in Brooklyn, bringing people together, Jackie Robinson, et cetera, et cetera. So that had an impact on me.
Bernie's not preaching, he's just reminiscing about the Brooklyn Dodgers and how billionaires buy teams, build stadiums with your tax dollars, jack up prices, and turn baseball into a luxury brand. $80 seats, $18 Cokes, $40 parking. Good luck to any families taking your kids to a game without maxing a credit card. And Bernie connects it all.
And what you're seeing today, and it's something we haven't looked at enough, it's something I want to, is it hasn't really changed.
Right.
You have what is the function of professional sports? All of these teams are owned by billionaires.
Yeah.
And if Baltimore doesn't give you enough money, you're going to move someplace else. And no matter, you break the hearts of kids, nobody cares. I remember what happened yesterday. But I remember that stuff from a long time ago because it was an integral part of your life.
Yeah.
And what you remember, all right, the Dodgers are 2 games out of first place. Preachero is pitching. Robinson is batting, 308. If he gets 2 hits, we knew what the averages were. You learned arithmetic.
Through baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could, as a kid, most of the kids on the block could tell you how many games the pitchers had won, who they were playing.
I think now we call that autism.
Now when Schulz cracks a joke about learning math through baseball being labeled autism, Bernie doesn't flinch. He laughs. Now imagine a corporate Democrat surviving that moment. Well, the DNC, they would have issued a statement before the show ended. But that's Bernie. Not just for the people, but of them. He listens, he jokes, he doesn't sanitize himself for donors or party elites. And remember, the Democratic Party, they tried to bury him twice. Now, they're doing it to podcasters, YouTubers, and anyone outside the DNC bubble, labeling them alt-right adjacent, dangerous, and divisive. It's the same tactic they played on him, just a different target.
We talk a lot about the Republicans being autocrats and oligarchs and taking over democracy, but from the Democrat perspective, and I'm a lifelong Democrat, I felt like the Democratic Party completely removed the democratic process from its constituents.
Now the Democrats' new strategy, they're trying to manufacture their own Joe Rogan. They've got charts, consultants, millions in funding trying to engineer authenticity. But here's the thing, authenticity isn't a marketing plan. Bernie can go on Rogan, Trump on Flagrant, JD Vance on Theo Von, all that. And why? Because they criticize their own side. And people respect that. Good luck finding a DNC-backed influencer willing to do that himself. At the end of the day, it's not about Bernie or baseball. It's about trust. People are sick of being lied to and manipulated. You can scream threat to democracy all you want, but if your own party rigs primaries, silences voters, and smears independent voices, maybe it's time to ask, who's really the threat to democracy? And that's your cold hard truth. Stay curious, stay critical, and I'll see you next time with another truth you need to hear.